So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
31's the mic. Go.
2nd and 10. Going up top. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big pickup of 38.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Mike 57. Get ready.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. About 3 yards there to the 27.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch that in. Tight end's right. Out. 3 down. Out.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
That's it, baby. That's it. Big hit.
On 3rd down, Muhammad. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
47. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Check 37.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check. 47.
2nd and 9 now. The quick slant caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Ready, set, you're out. Hey, I'm coming. Check, let's go.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Tackle made by K'Wan Short.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. They're going to look to throw. They'll find Lindsay here, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, rock it, rock it.
They'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Play fake. He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for more. That's caught at the 25. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Well, you think he loved the protection he had there all kinds of time.
And you're so right. How could you not love that? Great protection. The big guys up front really locked in on it. No one gets near the quarterback. He's got all the time in the world to survey the field and deliver for a first down.
And the big boys up front, a big reason why they're also winning, too. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Joshua Dobbs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Looking to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
He's going to fire one deep. And got his man complete. They'll get 34 yards there. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down. They'll drop the throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. He's able to find Wallace. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. to throw. Safarian Jenkins has it. 25 yards that time. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Army. So Mike 51.
Back to throw now on first down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Throw for his running back, and he's got him complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lindsey.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ready. 54 is Mike. Check this move. 54. Ready, go. Pick up the ball. Mike 54. Mike 50. Go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, let's go. Hey, pick it up, defense.
On second down, this is Cannon. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. They'll throw now on the final play. Got his target, Samuel. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And the Broncos first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check. 4 down. 4 down. Hey, lock it.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Defensively, it was Tremont Smith with a tackle.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Gotta get the point. Get on the point right here. Hey, rock it. Ready?
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Check back. Mike 22, Mike 22. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Mike 22.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got it at the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Panthers offense cashes in with 6. No problem there on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at their 49-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Double time. Even. 4 down. Even. 5.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Go. I got 11. Hey, let's get in that hole.
They're going to try and throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off here the 32. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Now he'll let it go deep, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, 70 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
We're going 25 to Mike. I'm coming. Hatchet, hatchet.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
They'll set up to throw. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Dante Jackson picks it. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 21 yards there on third down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Moore. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turned the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. A huge play there for Denver. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. He'll drop to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 2nd down now. It's Lindsey. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw.
Too little, cupcake. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist. Slam. He's crazy.
Go.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about you.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll set up a throw. He's going to look deep for more. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Come on,
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now it's Freeman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll look to throw. This is the tight end Fant. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Check 25. Check 26. Check 26. Check.
They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down.
25 to Mike. We're going 25 to Mike. Got you, boy.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16, and that will write a finish to this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped lead.